It was the final act of the Mexican Grand Prix. The crowd at the Autódromo Hermanos Rodríguez was roaring, engines screaming through the thin air, hearts pounding under the sun. Max Verstappen was closing in. The Red Bull driver, a three-time world champion and master of the late charge, had his eyes fixed on Charles Leclerc's Ferrari just ahead. 2 laps to go. The gap? Half a second. Every corner, Verstappen was edging closer. You could almost feel the Red Bull RB21 come alive, twitching, biting, fighting for every millimeter of grip. And then, everything changed. Carlos Sainz's Williams came to a silent halt in the middle of the circuit. No crash, no flames, just a car, dead in the water. The race marshals scrambled, yellow flags waved, and in seconds, the dreaded words flashed across the timing screens. Virtual safety car deployed. It was over. For Verstappen, that flashing message was like a gut punch. He'd spent the last 10 laps hunting down Leclerc, corner by corner, setting up a move that was supposed to happen right there, in front of the fans who had waited all afternoon for one last battle. But the virtual safety car froze the field. Everyone had to slow down, keep the gaps, maintain position. The rhythm was gone. The fight evaporated. By the time race control ended the VSC, there was barely half a lap left. Verstappen pushed, flat out, every ounce of grip, every flicker of power, but it wasn't enough. He crossed the line third. No attack, no pass, just silence on the Red Bull radio. But what came next was something different, a moment that showed who Max Verstappen has become. When the cameras caught him after the race, he wasn't angry. He didn't throw blame or complain about the timing. Instead, he smiled faintly and said, "You win some, you lose some, right?" That was it. Calm, grounded, philosophical. It was the response of a man who's seen it all, a champion who knows that in Formula One, timing is everything, and luck doesn't always land in your favor. But to understand why this mattered, you have to look deeper into what kind of weekend this was for Verstappen and Red Bull. From the moment they arrived in Mexico City, things felt off. The Red Bull RB21, usually unstoppable, was unpredictable. Verstappen described it as just not working. In qualifying, the balance was wrong, the grip inconsistent. He fought the car through every corner, calling it undrivable at times. He could only manage 5th on the grid. Not disastrous, but for a man used to starting at the front, it was unfamiliar territory. The start of the race was pure chaos. The long straight into turn 1 at Mexico is legendary for its slipstream battles. 3, sometimes 4 cars abreast, breaking into a funnel of carbon fiber and courage. Verstappen had to thread the needle. He later admitted that his heart was in his throat during those opening corners. He was forced wide at turn 2, bouncing over the curbs, brushing the grass, inches from losing control. "I nearly lost it there," he said. "It was hectic." But he held his nerve. And from there, Max did what Max does best. He adapted. He fought through the field, one car at a time. First Russell, then Piastri, then Norris. Each overtake was clean, calculated, decisive. He wasn't overdriving, he was dissecting the race. Then came his duel with Lewis Hamilton, a familiar dance between 2 giants of the sport. They went wheel to wheel through turns 1 and 3, neither giving an inch. Hamilton was hit with a penalty afterward, but Verstappen escaped without a scratch. "Hard racing," he said afterward with a grin. "That's how it should be." By halfway through the race, Verstappen was flying. Red Bull had adjusted the setup during the pit stops, and the RB21 started to find rhythm. With fresher tires and cleaner air, Verstappen began to hunt down Leclerc. The gap shrank every lap, 2 seconds, 1.5, then under 1. He was right there. The hunt was on. The crowd could sense it. Cameras zoomed in, commentators' voices rose. This was going to be the move. Verstappen versus Leclerc, 2 of the fiercest rivals of their generation. And then, that yellow flag. Carlos Sainz's Williams coasted to a stop. Race control didn't hesitate. The virtual safety car came out. The entire race froze in time. It was a fair call, safety first, always. But for Verstappen, it felt cruel. "We were just getting there," he said after the race. The timing, it wasn't ideal. When the VSC ended, there was just half a lap remaining. Verstappen floored it, but there wasn't enough tarmac left. Leclerc crossed the line second, Verstappen third. 1 point. That's all that separated them. From a championship perspective, that single point barely registers. Verstappen now sits 36 points behind Lando Norris in the standings with 4 races left. 1 point won't change the world. But symbolically, it mattered. It was the difference between a statement and a survival. Yet, in true Verstappen fashion, he didn't dwell on it. He didn't point fingers or question the FIA's decisions. He focused on the bigger picture, something he's learned to do over the years. "That's racing," he said. "Sometimes it goes your way, sometimes it doesn't." And that perspective tells you everything about where he is right now, mentally, emotionally, professionally. Because this wasn't the Max Verstappen of 2019, the hot-headed prodigy who'd explode over a missed chance. This was a driver with maturity, experience, and balance. The kind of racer who knows that championships aren't won through anger, they're won through resilience. Red Bull team principal Christian Horner later admitted, "We were on the back foot all weekend. Max made the best of it, and he did, starting 5th, surviving chaos, fighting through the field, finishing 3rd in a car that wasn't working right. That's not failure, that's championship-grade damage limitation." Every great driver has races like this, the ones that test patience more than pace, and Verstappen passed that test with flying colors. The truth is, the virtual safety car didn't cost Verstappen a victory, it just revealed how well he's learned to handle frustration. When you look across the season, Red Bull's dominance isn't as bulletproof as it once was. The field has closed in. McLaren and Ferrari are faster. The title race is tighter than it's been in years. And yet, Verstappen remains calm, focused, dangerous, because he knows that the secret to winning championships isn't in one-lap brilliance. It's in consistency. It's about staying in the fight when the odds turn against you. So while Mexico ended with him standing 3rd on the podium, the bigger message was clear. Max Verstappen isn't cracking under pressure, he's sharpening under it. He's already looking to the next one, Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, tracks where Red Bull might regain their edge and where he'll be ready to strike back. Because that's the thing about Max, he doesn't dwell on what's lost, he recalculates, he rebuilds, he reloads. And when he comes back harder. So yes, the virtual safety car robbed fans of a showdown. It denied us one last wheel-to-wheel duel between Verstappen and Leclerc, but it also showed something deeper, the evolution of a champion. The Max Verstappen who finished 3rd in Mexico wasn't defeated, he was refining his craft. And if history has taught us anything about Max, it's this. When the next race lights go out, he'll be ready to turn frustration into fire. Because champions don't just win when things go right, they win when everything goes wrong, and they keep fighting anyway.